Given that she cheated on Papoose for months with one of his proteges, and that her relationship with him isn't going well, it appears like Remy is finally realizing how badly she damaged their relationship. Clarissa Shields, Papoose's new booth bang, won't simply sit back and let Remy be her man because she seems to want him back now that he's moved on with someone else and will stop at nothing to have him back. Remy seems very happy with Clarissa and Papoose because she isn't your normal Instagram user. She publicly criticized Remy for using deceptive tactics and sending suggestive photos in an attempt to win Papoose over. What is Remy's real goal here? And is she just trying to keep Clarissa and Papo apart for the pleasure of doing so? Let's spill the tea. She looks too good to be having that. Rappers' preferred body type while they're not dating. Given how long Papoose had been in love with me, it's not surprising that Remy first showed little interest in the divorce process. She probably assumed he would come pleading with her to bring him back. When she was transported to prison, the man stood 10 toes down behind her, got into a lot of trouble by smuggling her skeleton key, and even got married to her while she was still inside, but never once. I don't know what commitment is it that, isn't it? Remy overplayed her role as her cheater. As I previously stated, Papoose was really in love with her, so she assumed she could get away with anything and expected him to stay with her. However, Papoose said psych and left her for Clarissa after that, which was the last straw. We assumed that since Papoose had recently split up with Remy, and he most likely didn't want to start a public affair so soon because they were so passionately in love and were briefly the epitome of black love in Hollywood. However, when Papoose chose to begin a highly visible relationship with Clarissa, who isn't a bimbo or Instagram badass, as I mentioned earlier, but rather one of the best female boxers and mixed martial artists in the world, and the only boxer, male or female, to hold all 4 major world titles in. For boxing, there are 3 weight divisions. In addition, she holds the record for the fewest professional fights required to win world titles in the 2, 3, 4, and 5 divisions. In addition to being younger than Remy, she is also highly accomplished and successful. As of October 2022, she was ranked as the best active female boxer pound for pound and the world's top active female middleweight by ESPN and The Ring. She is the 3rd female boxer in history to win a title in 5 different classes. This irritates Remy since, according to reports, she cannot claim that Papa has been demoted. I won't try to suggest that Remy isn't a catch herself because she isn't a well-known rapper. She makes some progress for herself in Once Upon a Time, but as I mentioned earlier, she is unable to claim that Clarissa is a downgrade. You all recall how their romance ended when she easily cheated on Papo.
This nigga just tell you stop screwing the business. I thought you was the help that could really ruin your image. We talking Barack and Michelle, happened real. That's us. Y'all a poster child symbol for black love. This young marriage is still at the go through them stages. Every interview, he showed his admiration and tell the world how he think his woman the greatest. Held you down in prison for 6 years.
Even though Remy wasn't aware of it at the time, Papoose got into a fight with Easy and knocked him out since he was so unhappy. For months, she had denied the affair, saying that her marriage to Papoose was healthy and that others were making it up. Papoose made it clear that he was over Remy and went public with Clarissa right away, but he made an effort to respect Remy by not publicly accusing her of infidelity. Intended to damage her public image, but Remy's rage about their relationship caused him to exaggerate the situation on social media, making Clarissa's and Papoose's lives unpleasant. Since a movie on Clarissa's life, starring Ryan Destiny and other musicians, was about to be released, she did it at the ideal time. Because the film was a huge hit and Clarissa needed as much good press as possible, many believe Remy did this on purpose. She uploaded a text message that Clarissa sent to Papoose on Instagram saying, "You take accountability. You are the one who is married," in an attempt to undermine that for herself. "If you can't sleep with me in person or over the phone, it shouldn't be a big issue to tell me you made it home safely or that you slept off in the Sprinter. It sounded like Clarissa and Papoose were lurking about before Papoose and Remy actually called it quits. As she asked Papoose to be honest with her, Remy drew her forward. Papoose carelessly nods off on the phone as Clarissa lies in my house, and he won't leave. He hung up after being surprised by my voice. He is expected to be a boxing world champion. Now that I've told you everything, my love, you're not alone. Furthermore, she said that the Apologies publicity team had been spreading false information about me and this woman, Clarissa Shields, among others, daily to paint me in a bad light and him as something else for a long time. I begged Pat to stop the story, but he argued that the best thing to do was to keep quiet. He said, "I'm tired," adding that he would never be with you due to your appearance. But don't worry, the world will see it now that you're so tough since I saw it all. Because Remy was committed to causing as much hurt as possible, she kept revealing additional texts, and it became evident that Clarissa was in a severe panic when she found out that Barry had exposed her online. She blew up Papoose's phone, saying things like, "I know you hate the internet games, but you need to do something today about this girl. And my PR team is going to react when they see this. Before the film's December 25 release, I can't be up there exposing her, etc. Have you received your other phone yet?" "Don't worry," Remy continued. "I don't care about what she said or told. You were foolish, Miss Shields." He was getting me arrested, the woman who hadn't been disloyal to him in 17 years, and he planned to try to ruin me with one of his side connections. That same woman could have used my position to expose you. He was going to say that he authored my fantasies while he held me down in a sidebar while I was away. It would be him because he also threatened to have any private information about me made public. Remy went on to share more information about me after that. In more texts, Clarissa appeared to be pleading with Papoose for the bare minimum, saying things like, "I'm not happy, but all right, I'm going to stop. I don't want to increase the tension you already have, so I'm just going to say how I feel. Since I'm tired of talking and you're not listening, I can't thank you for being honest, even though it's always the wisest course of action. I won't go into detail, but I'm requesting gifts, and you are free to do as you choose. When I'm tripping, I'm stating that I enjoy flowers and that I want time set aside specifically for me. I'm lying here feeling foolish because I'm having problems feeling anything." Remy Clowns is saying, "Hey, Miss Shields, I'm a one-boyfriend woman, just like I was a one-husband man, and I'm a good woman at that. For this reason, MFS won't just walk away and say, 'Oh,' and he's never going to buy you anything because he thinks he's the prize. He's a taker, not a giver. Plus, I'm the one with the bag. Please stop teasing me. I'm not the opponent you want. Actually, I'm not even angry. I'm thrilled. Despite your claim that he felt foolish, you appear unwise, and your partner is a problem." The block captain responded, "It's sad to say that she chose to be dishonest repeatedly now that I finally moved on. She's playing the victim." He chastised Remy for harboring resentment toward him despite the fact that she had been dishonest multiple times. This occurred as a result of P having to intervene and protect himself and his spouse. Instead of handling things like an adult, I would like to influence Chase on social media. I said nothing at all because, as you can see, I didn't want to get engaged in this social media chaos because my 6-year-old daughter had to go to school. She said, "I will never get anyone arrested again because you are lying, which can be easily verified, and you are the one who plays with the authorities. That you would make up texts that you claim to have sent about historical events that happened in public is misleading." The allegations that Remy had been unfaithful to him with his pal Easy the Block were then addressed by him. She kept contacting me to convince me to do anything since I wouldn't pretend that I hadn't knocked this person out. "Captain, Remy was here last Christmas when I was at home with my child. I've moved on, and now she's lying and becoming upset. She has a problematic personality. My idea that we obtain a separation like adults was rejected by her. Everyone saw this person in distress the last time I saw him. Remy woke him up after I knocked him out and brought him home for 4 days. As you can see, my daughter was delighted to tell falsehoods about it once more. He shook my hand before being with my wife. which is why I knocked him out. Remy refuted the claims made against her. All you do is lie, and does that look okay in the background? Asked their daughter over Christmas. You have a serious issue, so you try to pressure me for money to ensure a smooth separation, regardless of what I am doing with my child on any significant day. Even though I have been asking you to leave and let us part ways amicably for years, you said that the only way you are going is by a public outcry, she claimed. You respect my values despite the fact that you are aware that I'm not the social media type because of my background and the notion that I was a gangster girl. He made her feel uneasy by pulling her away. You hated that I started my rap battle league and were mad I was helping other rappers over you, she said. She claimed that he was envious of her accomplishment. You actually stated that he would attempt to destroy it. The exaggerated story where everyone knows what happened, but didn't see it is starting to bore me. You see, he'll disappear when you actually show up and leave like a masked individual at night. However, you helped create a public narrative by giving battle rappers and my company stories and purchasing information because my security knew you and knew you were in a bad situation. She made some serious charges that she was a victim of mistreatment since Papo allegedly bothered her frequently, and you made me go to the awards with you and act like everything was fine because you were jealous of my treatment. She collaborated with the authorities to create a scenario about it. Okay, Cap. The pool was never finished as you were arguing with me in the garage, and the workers had to call the authorities to keep you under control. You forgot to mention that. The audio and footage are still questionable, but she jumped right in. She wasn't done though, because she eventually disclosed the real cause of her frustration. Prior to Clarissa betraying her and bringing her husband down, she and Clarissa had a lengthy history together and had been friendly. She emailed me screenshots of Clarissa with the statement, "He is Papa's weirdo girlfriend," as a way to wish me a happy new year. The fact that this woman really contacted me a few days later to ask for advice on how to show off her figure is absurd. You think you know what I have, so you feel free to tell these individuals falsehoods. I've created this situation, Clarissa, by appreciating you in spite of knowing something wasn't right and keeping quiet about it. I promise you'll regret it. He finally became tired of Remy's actions and said, "It's unbelievable that a 45-year-old woman is acting like this. I'm not even 45, and you're 29. In short, you no longer look like an older person."
Stick of the fake knockout story. Everyone knew what they heard happened, not what they actually saw. And you kept saying, "See, it'll go away." When actually you snuck in and out like a thief in the night with a mask on, but my security know you through, cause he know you then ran out. You helped create a false narrative to the public by feeding back.
However, Clarissa even went so far as to declare her love for him in public.
Yeah, that's why I said I love him. I love having his support, you know what I'm saying? His support is like very, very different from what I've had in the past, and how he speaks to me and stuff is very different. There we go. We deserve each other. But I don't know, it's kind of one of those things I was like, I want to keep him all to myself. I didn't really.
But that's not all. There are rumors that Papoose plans to ask Clarissa to marry him, and it seems that his awful experience with Remy hasn't distorted his perception of love, and he's willing to continue communicating with Clarissa. But it doesn't seem like he'll give up because she's allegedly trying to. Clarissa is not the best partner because, according to rumors, she is willing to fight to defend her partner. However, she may charm him and convince him to do the same. If you believe that Remy is being dishonest by trying to provide them photos, please watch this video and then leave a comment below.